Today on Rappler, lawyer J.J. Decini says the new cybercrime law makes the Justice Secretary the Internet's all-powerful firewall. Former Supreme Court Justice Carpio-Morales says the Supreme Court needs to face the music.
For its true power is not in its tendency to spread news and ideas quickly and broadly. The real power of social media is its ability to validate or, in some cases, invalidate personal conviction.
And Rappler's Social Good Summit discusses the power of social media for social change. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. A lawyer says the newly signed cybercrime law makes the Justice Secretary an all-powerful firewall who can take down any online content and keep it offline indefinitely. Lawyer J.J. Decini of the UP College of Law says the takedown provision in the Cybercrime Prevention Act allows Justice Secretary Laila de Lima to censor online content if a complaint is made. Decini says any content could be immediately taken down. There's no need to follow up with a prosecution. He adds the new law makes the Justice Secretary the most powerful person on the internet. Media organizations slammed the new law, saying it, quote, commands forced silence. Some, though, defended the law, saying it would make cyberbullying illegal. Lawyers say they will ask the Supreme Court to repeal the law. Leaders of various Muslim communities asked the Supreme Court to order Malacanang to ban the anti-Islam film Innocence of Muslims on YouTube. President of the Rijaluddin Group, Aga Khan Sharif, says President Aquino should follow Singapore, which bans the film on the video sharing site. Sharif says Aquino should enforce the ban, similar to his actions last year when he ordered a controversial art exhibit closed. He's referring to Kulo exhibit at the CCP, which showed defaced religious images that some Catholics called, quote, blasphemous. The anti-Islam film sparked violent protests across the Arab world, including the killing of an American ambassador in Benghazi, Libya, on September 11. Senator Lauren Legarda accepts the invitation of the United Nationalist Alliance, or UNA, to be its guest candidate for the 2013 senatorial elections. Legarda, the frontrunner in election surveys, will be running under UNA, even if she's a member of the Nationalist People's Coalition. The NPC is in partnership talks with the ruling Liberal Party. NPC spokesperson Valenzuela City Representative Rex Gatchalian says LP and NPC are still discussing Legarda's situation. Senator Francis Escudero, Cheese Escudero, is running as an independent candidate for the 2013 elections, but both UNA and LP are including him in their senatorial slates. Escudero says he's thankful to both Aquino's LP and Vice President Judjomar Binay's UNA for adopting him as a, quote, guest candidate. In a press release, Escudero says the more support a candidate gets for his candidacy, the better for him. The senator says there's no need to choose between his two allies because both parties have identical platforms. Rappler editor-at-large Marites Vitug launched the sequel of her book on the Supreme Court, Shadow of Doubt. The book's title is Hour Before Dawn. Carlos Santamaria reports the book tracks the High Court in its most tumultuous year ever.
Sacred institution is now under intense public scrutiny. In the past year, the Supreme Court saw its Chief Justice impeached and replaced by a woman who will serve for the next 18 years. Investigative journalist and Rappler editor-at-large Marites Vitug's new book tells the story of the Supreme Court's darkest hour and its struggle for reform.
It's important that the public is vigilant about the court and hopefully they'll understand the need for reforms.
The book reveals a court that bowed to political pressure and refused to accept any criticism of its decisions. The author says such a vital institution must change if it is to survive and uphold democracy in the Constitution under its new boss, Maria Lourdes Sereno. Outside the court, there is a consensus on the need for reform. But inside, the justices need to examine themselves and acknowledge they are not infallible.
the Supreme Court also needs to face the music. Before any master plan of reform can be orchestrated, any organization needs to come to terms with itself in the context of recent events.
Ombudsman Conchita Carpio-Morales was Associate Justice for 9 years. As a former insider in a court locked in secrecy, she talks about the challenges to the court's integrity.
The reality is that political pressure is always lurking around every corner, every bend, and luring people in every turn of events. It will always be there, where opportunity or opportunism calls. Politics will always come into play if one will allow it.
Hour Before Dawn, a sequel to Vitug's book Shadow of Doubt, opens a rare window into the workings of an institution that has been tarnished but is still admired by many Filipinos. Carlos Santamaria, Rappler, Manila.
A plunder complaint before the Ombudsman is filed against businessmen Roberto Ongpin and Ramon Ang. Also charged are high-profile lawyer Estelito Mendoza and Supreme Court Justice Lucas Bersamin. The plunder charges come from alleged irregularities and losses incurred by the government in a 2008 deal that involved shares in the country's biggest power firm, Manila Electric Company, Meralco. Complainant Emilio Aguinaldo Suntay alleges the share purchase agreement between the conglomerate led by Ongpin and Ang, San Miguel Corporation, and government-run financial institutions was a losing deal for the state. The complainant says when the state-run firms accepted the offer of San Miguel Groups, the government was disadvantaged because there was a better offer from the Pangilinan-led group. Read more on Rappler.com. Plunder complaint versus Supreme Court Justice Ongpin. Associate Justice Antonio Carpio tells reporters not to interpret the absence of justices in the flag ceremonies as a sign of lack of support for Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. Carpio says support for the new leadership is best measured through the justices' decisions. He says, quote, "You look at the positions they take on issues. That's the most important thing." Under then Chief Justice Renato Corona, Carpio and Sereno were part of the dissenting minority, consistently voting against former President Gloria Arroyo. Sereno's appointment as Chief Justice in August allegedly divided the High Court. Sereno bypassed at least 5 senior justices also nominated to the post. Rappler held its Social Good Summit Saturday, a culmination of the group's effort to make sense of an ever-changing digital world. Tourism Secretary Ramon Jimenez says the power of social media is not just its potential to make ideas viral.
For its true power is not in its tendency to spread news and ideas quickly and broadly. The real power of social media is its ability to validate or, in some cases, invalidate personal conviction.
Jimenez says the tourism campaign, It's More Fun in the Philippines, allows the public to share their feelings about the Philippines and validate these through similar tweets from other people. Stay tuned to Rappler during the week and we'll bring you more from the Social Good Summit. The Moro Islamic Liberation Front plans to sign a peace agreement this year after its decades-long fight with the government in Mindanao. The accord outlines steps to achieve a peace pact between the MILF and the government before President Aquino steps down in 2016. MILF Chief Negotiator Mohagher Iqbal says the group is 85% sure that the peace pact will be signed by the end of the year. He says the crucial moment will come during the next round of peace talks in Kuala Lumpur. The government's chief negotiator, Marvic Leonen, says the roadmap will outline a new autonomous region in parts of Mindanao and spell out plans for a power-sharing deal there with the MILF. Typhoon Lauin, international codename Jalawat, gains strength as it moves northwest. In its 5 p.m. update, State Weather Bureau Pagasa says the typhoon center is estimated at 380 kilometers east of Virac, Catanduanes. Pagasa says the typhoon will enhance the southwest monsoon that will continue to bring moderate to heavy rains in Visayas and Mindanao. Metro Manila, Calabar Zone, and Central Luzon will have occasional light to moderate rain. Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 3, the U.S. denounces a $100,000 bounty offered by a Pakistani cabinet minister for the killing of the creator of an anti-Islam film, quote, the innocence of Muslims, released on YouTube earlier this month. Pakistan's Railways Minister Ghulam Ahmed Bilour offers the prize Saturday and invites the Taliban and Al-Qaeda to be part of this, quote, noble deed. Pakistan, however, distances itself from Bilour's comments, saying it's not part of government policy. At number 4, a run for the presidency by Hillary Clinton in 2016 is not impossible. Husband Bill Clinton tells CBS she is tired, although he says he has no idea what she'll decide to do after more than a decade in public service. The former president says his wife, quote, wants to take some time off, kind of regroup, write a book. Hillary Clinton was First Lady for 8 years, Senator for another 8 years, before becoming Secretary of State. She lost to Obama for the Democratic nomination in 2008 and said she will no longer try to be the first female president of the United States. At number 5, ABC's Modern Family, a series that follows the lives of the dysfunctional but lovable Pritchett family, wins 4 Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series Monday, Manila Time. Modern Family will begin its 4th season in the U.S. on September 29. The Outstanding Drama Series award went to Homeland, which unseated Mad Men, a 4th straight year Emmy winner. Homeland lead actors Damian Lewis and Claire Danes won awards for Best Actor and Best Actress in a Drama Series, respectively. It's about the Iraq War and its effects. It will start its 2nd season on October 30th. At number 6, the State Department criticizes CNN's handling of a personal journal belonging to U.S. Ambassador to Libya, Christopher Stevens, saying it was, quote, disgusting. CNN.com explained Saturday that it found the journal of Stevens, quote, on the floor of the largely unsecured consulate compound. He was killed in an attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi on September 11. The network says the personal journal was used only for tips, later corroborated by sources, and that it was returned to Stevens' family through an Italian diplomat. State Department spokesman Philip Raines says CNN, quote, completely ignored the wishes of the family when it reported on the journal's contents. And at number 9, Brunei's Princess Haja Hafiza Sururul Bolkiah, the daughter of one of the world's wealthiest men, and her husband, Pangeran Haji Muhammad Ruzaini, were presented to the royal court in a lavish ceremony on Sunday, September 23. The two were legally wed Thursday after they signed a marriage contract. The colorful 20-minute ceremony marked the highlight of more than a week's festivities in oil-rich Brunei. The 32-year-old bride and her 29-year-old groom were seated in a hall in front of 3,000 guests that included President Benigno Aquino III, Thai Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra, and Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. A court in southern Vietnam jails 3 bloggers Monday for anti-state propaganda, including one whose case was raised by U.S. President Barack Obama. High-profile blogger Nguyen Van Hai, alias Diu Chai, is sentenced to 12 years in prison. Policewoman turned dissident Ta Pong Tan gets 10 years, and Phan Tan Hai gets a 4-year term after a trial lasting just a few hours. The 3 face charges of conducting propaganda against the one-party communist state, which human rights groups say is curbing freedom of expression. Filipino boxer Manny Pacquiao says he will fight undefeated American boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr. after his 4th fight against Mexican Juan Manuel Marquez. Pacquiao says he's willing to agree to any of Mayweather's demands. In 2 separate interviews with ESPN last week, Pacquiao agreed to a 55-45 split with Mayweather, getting more of the purse. The 8th-division world champion adds he's also okay with Mayweather's request for Olympic-style drug testing. Mayweather has so far kept quiet following Pacquiao's statements. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter with 8 emotions for you to choose from. Click on the mood you feel and your vote will come to the front page of Rappler. The middle of it is the Mood Navigator, which chooses the top 10 stories that have gotten the most number of votes and crowdsources the mood of the day. If you take a look today, it's largely a green day. We have North Rail loan successfully renegotiated with China at 78% don't care and 21% happy, and a patch of red. One of today's stories, the DOJ Great Firewall of China under new law. This is on the new cybercrime law. 58% angry, 17% afraid. If you take a look, the story that's gotten the most number of hits, one of our election stories, Lauren joins UNA's 2013 senatorial slate, 61% happy, contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people are happy. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, September 24, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.